Hello and welcome to Beve with Ben, episode 85. Right back for another week, guys. So recap of what happened into March. And all right, beer of choice is from the Hunter Valley, the Valley Brewhouse. It's a double IPA. Spent a few days in the Hunter Valley catching up with my cousin who is over from Prague, and so took them to the Brewhouse. We took a few takeaways. But yeah, double IPA from the Brewhouse. It is a very nice drop. I think it's about 8.5%, so quite punchy being a double IPA, but a nice flavour, not too overwhelming. So yeah, do recommend. All right, so we'll cover off Training Peaks and Strava from this week. A few races coming up: Buffalo, Ridgy, Didge, and then into UTA. Plus there's a few others as well. I'm going to discuss the SNL UTA camp with Ridgy, Didge. And also going to cover off, some things on running biomechanics. And thank you for everyone that joined Sunday at the running clinic held by Lara Landells. So thank you very much again, Cara, for coming out. And then just talk about a few sessions that we'll be working in through to the UTA. All right, well, let's go over to Strava. And so last week, and was for me another good block of training. Just building back after Tarawera, still pretty much on the top of that now. So Monday nights is the gym, so just at one tribe for the strength session with the group. And just started off with some hip flexor glute activation with the small bands and into a core circuit, and plus we did some supersetting glutes, quads, calves, and a lunge set to finish, getting with a few different plyo sets. I did my own session after, which was some lunges, step ups, squats, bridges, split squats. Didn't go on the bars, was just using dumbbells and some kettlebells. I did that session after I'd gone for a run, so I did a little 6k run along the foreshore, listening to some Limp Bizkit. A Limp Bizkit song came on. I haven't listened to them for a while, so I put on the Limp Bizkit for that 30-minute run, 6Ks at 5:13 pace. And then I hit the gym up, which meant that I got home a little bit late. I didn't get home till about 9 o'clock, so Nicole wasn't very happy with me, unfortunately. But oh well. Fight my battles. And Tuesday morning, over to the Lambton group, and it was another fartlek. So the last sort of set of fartleks before we move into some 400s, K reps and bigger. But 3, 2, 1 times 5 with a 1 minute float between each. Now the idea was to progress the 3 and the 2 and the 1 to get faster as the reps got shorter. So sort of half marathon pace to 10k pace and 5k pace. And the guys did well, kicking down well. I think there's a few sort of building back from a couple of events or building to a couple of events. So good mix, good group. And Tuesday's done in the morning's done well. Into the afternoon, it was the same set for Maitland. 3, 2, 1 times 5 with a 1 minute float between. And pretty much. No, that's Craig's set. Sorry, but same flow. Everyone's sort of doing this. Most of the guys are building to the UTA anyway. But I was sort of holding 410 pace down to 355 and 345 pace, and I was sitting at about 440 for the floats. The guys did well. I think the hardest thing with this session too, like the previous session, is making sure that you're not spanking the reps too hard too early, because once you get through the third rep, the fourth and fifth rep can be very hard to hold on if you've been going out too fast, especially on the 3 minute reps. And I saw that done by a few people just pushing a little bit too hard early on, and just finding that the last two to get through. But overall, a pretty good session, and it is a little bit hard to get right if you're not used to doing them, especially fartleks. That was Tuesday. And Wednesday morning, just got up before the gym. I did an easy leg turnover. My legs were still a little bit heavy. My legs were fairly sore this week, coming from the big Saturday and Sunday that I did, especially the Saturday's run. My quads were very, very sore. So, which is good, getting adaptation from the training. So, I was a little bit heavy this week. But anyway, 5K in the morning, 5:19 pace, 26 minutes, and I'm just listening to the Inside Running guys on their podcast. Into the gym, glute abductor activation. Did more of a circuit, had a smaller group this morning, so we did more circuits over three exercises, so a hemi circuit, a glute circuit, a quad circuit, and then we finished with a bit of a plyo circuit to finish off. After the run, before the session I coached, I did my own little gym session, very similar to Mondays, but I added in some extra deadlifts and a couple of little different supersets on the hemis. So lunges, squats, deadlift, bridges, thrusters, all supersetted. Quick session before coaching. Wednesday afternoon, Maitland group. Good to see everybody out making the most of the sunshine before daylight savings finishes. But did the Bowara loop plus a few extra. So just jogged around, keeping nice and easy. Pretty much averaged about, I think for the Bowara loop we're sitting at 5:30 pace, and then probably 5-minute pace for the few extra Ks. But just keeping it nice and easy. Was still quite warm on the Wednesday before, obviously Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday was steaming. Nice little social run from Foot Motion. In the morning, trail session. So hilly tempos. So you're down the shaft and up power line. So the idea of obviously is just working on the coordination and leg speed, working on the technical downhill and onto the single track, and then working on your power and your strength to drive up the hill. Obviously, just activating the body differently with the single track on the technical, and then the climbing at the end. So just building over that overall strength. The session is about 1.4K. So multiple reps, makes it hard coming up the hill in the last couple of reps as well. But it was a good Thursday morning with the group, and I skipped the afternoon because I had to go to the Hunter Valley. So I just did what did I do? I think I just did 7.5K run, 4:55 pace just around Maitland, just before heading up to the Hunter Valley. But from looking at the numbers and seeing the guys that did the session on Thursday, well done. Pretty consistent on the lap, so really good to see. A couple of PRs for that segment as well, which was good. But that was Thursday. Friday, being up the Hunter Valley, I did a Pecolban loop. Out of Pecolban, did the Broken Back Mountain out and back, so it's 30K, just under 800 metres of elevation, 2 hours and 28 minutes. Felt pretty good. Just tried to work hard up the hill. Nothing too ridiculous, but just keeping nice and solid. I was a little bit light on fuel. Because I packed my stuff 2 days before, I thought I'd pack some extra Tailwind, but I realised that one of my bottles just had water in it, so not Tailwind. So I only had one bottle of Tailwind. I'm glad I drove out to North Rothbury before I started and went to Macca's and grabbed some banana bread and a coffee, because if I hadn't have had that banana bread, I think it would have been even more flatter. But it was pretty much got the crown on the 15K climb up, and was second on the way down. So nice loop. I felt pretty good all the way. Besides just having a little bit lacking energy towards the end, towards the middle section in the end, but nothing. Still had enough energy on me. Still had enough fuel in me anyway. And that was the day for Friday for me. Just going around doing a wine tasting. And an afternoon at the brewery, but that was 30K for the day. Saturday morning, slept in a little bit, just having a couple of late nights through the week, and in the afternoon, after work, I just went out for an 8K loop, just at 4:49 pace around Maitland. Legs felt pretty good. Wasn't too sore after Friday's run. So just 8K, 4:49 pace. It was hot though, so it was still about 35 degrees, so quite warm. Sunday morning, just out with the group. I got out half an hour before and just did a little 6K loop in Glenrock, but 22K. Just we did a I did a 6K loop before them, and then we had another 6K loop into Glenrock, and then we did circuits of hang 10 and snakes and ladders. So we did about 4 reps of that, just getting in some extra elevation and just working on some technical downhill. That was 22K, just about 500 meters of elevation. Then we had the run clinic down in Merriweather, so thanks again to Cara for coming out and holding that, taking home lots of good points and things to look at and things to address, and we'll definitely have a look in a little bit more detail because we can all benefit of making some sort of adjustments. So, and it was a good refresher for me, just having a closer look at biomechanics in such a long time was really good, just to pick up a couple of good reminders and cues to that we can all work on. After the clinic, we went to the Prince and had lunch and had a quick eat, and then after that I went out and did another loop. So I just did a 10.5k loop in Newcastle, just starting at Empire Park just onto the break wall, basically just the break wall and back, and I just did 2 extra reps of the stairs at Empire Park. Empire Park. So I just did a couple of reps. Not at Kingimbal Park. So just did a couple of stair reps at Kingimbal Park. It was very hot. It was about 36 degrees, so didn't push it too hard, but made sure I did have some water on the way as well. But 10.5k, another 250 meters of climbing in 54 minutes, and that was my week. So 135k, just under 2,000 meters of climbing. Would have liked to have a few more Ks in the week, but obviously just with family and coaching and the clinic on, a few less Ks, but otherwise was a good week, and ready now to smash the next week, which will be the usual Monday strength session. Some might have a little jog beforehand. I will be going after. We're into the 400 meter reps this week, so there'll be anywhere from 8 to 15 400 meter reps on a 75-second recovery. Basically, your goal is to be around that sort of 10k, 5k pace. So you want to be consistent. A good way being short reps anywhere from 75, 80 seconds to 2 minutes. And obviously, after having the workshop yesterday, good little cues to focus on with your hips, and working on paying attention to your stride, your cadence, how your foot's striking the ground, and that slight little tension in through your core, and stabilizing your hips so you're not tilting. That'll be the 400 reps for Tuesday, Lambton and Maitland. Excuse me. Wednesday morning will be the strength session again, where we'll be doing a bit of an agility circuit as well. Wednesday you'll be having either the day off besides strength, or doing anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour run. Friday is a 2k circuit, so a little bit longer, but one of people's faves, starting on a downhill down power line, then a long big climb on the other side of power line up onto Dr. Zeus, so you're getting some single track. So the idea, to get your legs turning over fast, again thinking of stabilizing your hips with your leg turnover, working on that faster leg turnover with the cadence down the hill, and then climb, just working on stabilizing everything and working up the hill to where your quads will be quite sore by the time you get to the top, but then you want to try and run it out by pushing it hard on the single track and the flat to just to try and release any of the lactic acid build-up from the climb. And we're going to be doing that anywhere between 3 and 5 reps. So another solid Thursday session. Friday, some will have a longer run, some will just have easy stretch and Pilates sort of session. Saturday morning, just your standard, 30 to 45 minutes. Otherwise, some will be doing a long run on the Saturday if they're not doing one on the Friday. Sunday. So Sunday will be anywhere from 3.5 hours to 4 hours. Be anywhere from 18k to 35k. Now we'll be doing Mount Fork Road to Heaton Lookout, and there's going to be a little bit of a change in the set as well. So we're going to do some hill reps in that. So we'll be doing one to 2 reps, or anywhere from 1 to 3 reps of Mount Fork Road to Heaton Lookout. Some might just do Mount Fork Road, or and then we'll be doing a timed hill repeat session after the reps. Either you do 1, 2, or 3. So there'll be a timed hill session anywhere from 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 6 minutes, 4 minutes, 2 minutes, and we'll be doing that on coming down. So just working the body different, working the system differently, getting used to running up some climbs on fatigued legs like most of you will be doing in the UTA. And then in the next couple of weeks, we'll be adding in some stairs and stuff like that as well. But really look forward to Sunday session. It should be a good challenge for everybody. And that is the week that will be for next week. Exciting. All right, so Buffalo Stampede, Ridgy did trail run. You've got Jabulani on that same weekend. The Mount Solitary Ultra into UTA Australia. And I would have updated, should see the sheet updated for the training camp. So it'll be the 4th of April to the 6th of April. I have set up the accommodation, so please get onto that sheet, put your name down. It will be about $115 per person for the 2 nights of comm. Friday will arrive hopefully by 4 o'clock, and some will do a 10k loop from Scenic World, which will just be down, like pretty much just down Federal Pass towards the giant staircase and back. Others might do a longer run, and it will be from QVH to Scenic World. So we'll organise some carpool options as well. But so anywhere from 10k to 20k on the Friday, and then Saturday. So Saturday will be the race out at Lithgow. So it'll be anywhere from 10 to 13k to 50k. I don't recommend anybody doing the 50k to a degree unless you may be doing the miler. But again, reach out and have a chat to what's going to be work best with your training and what's programmed. There's the 50k, the marathon, 30k, 22k, 10k, and the 5k. So it's a 7 a.m. start for the 50k, an 8 a.m. start for the 42k, a 9 a.m. start for the 30k, and 9:30 a.m. for the 22, and a 10:15 start for the 10k. It'll be it's just a nice fun event. It's a good challenging event, good single track, good up and down elevation and undulation. Then we'll have lunch. There's the Tattersalls Hotel in Lithgow, which I have no idea what it's like, but the photos look good and the reviews were okay. So nice little beer garden at the back as well. So that looks like it could be a nice place to have lunch on the Saturday afternoon, considering by the time we get back to Katoomba, we'll probably be a little bit late for lunch anyway. But and after everybody's done a big race, we want to be refueled and ready to go for the Sunday. So we'll probably just do a dinner on the Saturday night. Sunday there is a couple options. We'll be starting at Scenic World, or there might be a few that want to do a shorter route and start at Wentworth Falls and they can finish at QVH. So there is a Scenic World to Echo Point 10k. There is the Wentworth Falls to QVH 15k. There's the Scenic World to Wentworth Falls 20k. Now there's 2 options which will bring a way up. There's going to be a 30k or a 40k run. Now there'll be Scenic World QVH loop back to Scenic World, or there'll be a Scenic World QVH with a Kadumba rep. So for those, we might just work out options, but it could be, if depending on what race you may have done on the Saturday, which might determine what sort of distance you go on the Sunday. But that's some of the options that we're going to do, and this is for everybody too. So even if you're not part of SNL and you want to do a long week run on the weekend in the first week of April, feel free to reach out. And if same for the guys, if they have any friends that are doing the UTA or want to come down for a fun weekend of training, just reach out and we can get them involved. So you can do just one day, you can do 2 days, you can do 3 days. If you don't plan to do the race, you can come down on the Saturday and I'll give you a route to do on the Saturday in Katoomba. You can do that and then jump in for the Sunday. Or if you just want to do the Sunday, you can do that as well. Again, family's welcome. If you want to make a bit of a holiday, if you've got kids, it might not be as joyful for them, but if they want to do if you want to do the race on the Saturday, there is a kids race as well. There is a 5k race. So we'll organise food and drinks and stuff like that. We'll make sure I've got water, Coke and Powerade or something like that as well to have at the cars, so people can get refueled after. And if you have any gear you want to get checked off, I will definitely recommend bringing your race gear down as well. Obviously you are doing a race, so you will have to carry some mandatory gear anyway, so I will definitely bring down some of your gear. It might be cold, being the mountains, we don't know what weather it's going to be, guys, too, so make sure you've got all your wet weather gear, gloves, beanies, arm warmers, jackets for the cold morning or the cold nights. And then we'll go through any nutrition needs as well individually. The key point to the camp will be to make sure that you are recovering after the race, so you're all good to go for Sunday as well. Bring foam rollers, massage guns. Might see if we can get some boots for everybody, for a few people to use as well if you want to. But I hope that answers some more questions about that. So just touching off the running biomechanics. So for those that didn't make it and couldn't come, it was basically just working and looking at how the body moves while running. So we'll go looking at Cara covered off like posture, your stride, your foot strike, and what muscles are getting activated. So just the biomechanics effectively, obviously reducing injury risk, and is going to improve and optimize your running performance and movement patterns. So I suppose she went through and break down the running gait cycle. So your stance and how you should support having the proper stance, so you can have that proper to support your running stance and the propulsion as well. So your initial contact, your mid stance, and the propulsion. So the initial contact of where the foot strikes the ground, whether it be what you're feeling, whether it be more heel, midfoot or forefoot. Your mid stance by your body weight directly hitting over your knee, having with it slightly bent, and the propulsion, how the foot pushes off from the forefoot and the toes. So it was initially just assessing how everyone stands, how everybody feels, what their body is doing through that phase. She also went through a bit of the swing phase as well, so the recovery parts and the forward motion. So your initial swing, where the leg moves after push off, mid swing, then like when the knee reaches the highest point, and we did a few drills with that as well, and the terminal swing, so like basically how the foot prepares when it's landing again. So we also did some more drills on posture and alignment of how you're holding your hips, especially when you're running. So having a neutral spine and not leading too far forward or backwards. I think it's like how she situated was not spilling any water, so holding your hips like and where you're having it neutral, so you feel like no water's going to splash out while you're running. And that's engaging your core, getting that stability, keeping your shoulders relaxed, and where and when you should be holding tension. The foot strike pattern, so we'll just a couple of drills looking at, especially with some of the running drills, looking at heel strike, your mid-foot strike and your forefoot strike. So and looking at where, again, what I mentioned about where your foot should be landing so you're not overstriding, getting that right stride length. And that was where she went through some cadence and some stride length drills. So it's not so much about having an optimal cadence of a specific number, but what is going to be more efficient for you and your body in that component of. But again, just working on that more so, looking at your propulsion and making sure you're getting power and the less contact from the ground, getting it more propulsion. And we also did some upper body work as well, just looking at how the arm swing and how you're controlling your upper body. So having that 90-degree angle, so and you're using your elbows and you're not pushing, or you're not pushing, you're pulling, and just making sure there's no crossover of your arms or over rotation in your shoulders, and that right tension should be in through your trunk and your core, but making it only having subtle movements. And then there was just overall on how to improve and different exercises through strength training, the mobility work, the drills. But again, it's just a big thing of being aware of what to feel for, how your body's feeling, to then you keep practicing these mobility drills and techniques to improve your biomechanics. So it was a really good workshop, and really appreciate Cara for coming down and making the time to do it for us. So thank you again, and I hope everyone that did make it got a lot out of it and enjoyed it. And we will obviously come back to it and cross over with some of the video analysis and a couple of things that Cara will be sending through to everybody. So again, thank you again. All right, guys, well, that's a wrap pretty much for this week's episode. Keep filtering questions, and if you have anything that you want more covered and crossover and discussed, please reach out. Thanks again, and I hope we all have a great week training. Remember, Straight Limits Coaching, the 3 mantras of desire, determination, discipline. Thanks a lot. Cheers.